Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here. Today, my topic is alternative proteins. I guess we probably all know that proteins are essential for our bodies. They do a lot of important work in our cells. Protein is also a critical part of processes that fuel your energy and carry oxygen throughout your body and your blood. It also helps make antibodies that fight off infections and illnesses and helps keep cells healthy and create new ones. But why do we need alternative sources of protein? I hope everyone can answer for themselves after this presentation. Today, meat is one of the main sources of protein for humans. According to CB Insights, 30% of calories consumed globally by humans come from meat products including beef, chicken, and pork. There are billions of farm animals in the world right now. For instance, in 2016, cattle population reached almost 1.5 billion animals. It is 44 more percent than in 1966. The number of chicken raised from human consumption, as you see in a graph, increased from 4.4 billion up to 23 billion in 50 years. During the same period of time, the pig population increased nearly twice. According to the United Nations, it is projected that by 2050, the human population will increase to nearly up to 10 billion. The projections show that feeding a world population of 10 billion people in 2050 would require raising overall food production by some 70% due to the growing human population and growing consumption of meat. Scientists and major food corporations recognize that it is mathematically impossible to double traditional food production. Why? Livestock is the world's largest user of land resources, with pasture and arable land dedicated to the production of feed, representing almost 80% of the total agricultural land. 1/3 of global arable land is used to grow feed, while 26% of Earth's ice-free terrestrial surface is used for grazing. If transport makes up to 14%, then the food accounts for almost a quarter of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. Furthermore, to produce a kilogram of beef requires an average of 15,000 liters of water, while growing an average of 1 kilogram of vegetables requires around 320 liters of water. What are the solutions? We eat and will be eating meat, but we already have more sustainable alternatives right now. So I want to tell you a bit more about them. I would divide the future alternative protein sources into 3 groups: plant-based proteins, insect proteins, and clean meat. Plant-based proteins would distinguish this category as patented food technologies that has similar taste and nutritional value to meat. I should mention a few companies in the field, such as Beyond Meat, Impossible Foods, and Moving Mountain Foods. By the way, this product you can already find in Lithuania, and trust me, not only the picture looks good, it tastes the same. You may also have heard of proteins from crickets or other insects. They have 2 to 3 times more protein than beef, also more iron, vitamins, and fiber. I guess most of you have heard about those 2 categories, but what is clean meat? In the photo, you see chicken nuggets. However, the interesting thing is that the chicken from which this product was made was not grown in a slaughter. This meat was grown in a laboratory. And here you see those duck skewers were also made from meat grown in the lab. Cultured or otherwise called clean meat is grown by taking a biopsy from a live cow. Then the muscle tissue cell is then broken down, grown in a special medium where it receives vitamins and all necessary substances. It is then grown in a bioreactor until muscle tissue is formed, which is a major component of the meat we eat today. Biologically exactly the same as meat tissue obtained from the cow or other animal. Up to 2,000 kilograms of meat can be grown from only one biopsy. And these technologies do not need to be mixed with genetically modified products. It's absolutely different. The pioneer of the application of this technology in food is a scientist from Netherlands, Professor Mark Post. So it is also a co-founder of famous startup Mosameat. This product was first introduced in 2013 during a television show. This has led hundreds of scientists around the world to develop foods using this technology. Benefits of all this. Although the product is not yet available on the market, the projected environmental impact of such meat is drastically lower than the traditional farm meat. Also, such meat does not have antibiotics or other additives, so that's why it's called clean meat. And yet, the exact impact on the environmental is not yet completely clear, as we do not have this technology in mass production. On top of all that, this category has more challenges to face, like price. In 2013, such a burger cost over $300,000 US. However, the huge interest of scientists and expectation of investors help to make this technology significantly cheaper, as you see. However, the price is not yet competitive in comparison to traditionally farmed meat, and this is a challenge. Another thing that the skeptical attitude of a significant proportion of consumers. How would probably everyone question what are the short and long-term effects to our health, as well as texture. To date, there is no way to fully restore the structure of the meat tissue. But the technology is evolving rapidly, and several companies from Southeast Asia, Europe, US has already have product for sale today. They're limited by governmental regulations, but it is predicted that we will be able to buy such product in a retail in next 10 years. Startups apply this technology not only to the meat industry, but also to seafood. And all this has already received the attention of investors. For instance, Wildtype. They grow salmon meat in a lab. Investors' expectations are high. In less than 10 years, $16 billion has been invested in clean and plant-based meat. Among investors can be found such celebrities as Richard Branson, Bill Gates, etc. But most interestingly, the main investors and the investors with the highest expectations are the largest agriculture and meat processing companies like Cargill, Tyson Foods, THW. As you see, Cargill and Tyson Foods both invested in leading lab-grown poultry and pork startup from Silicon Valley, Memphis Meat. Also, Tyson Food is one of the main investors to world's leading plant-based meat producer, Beyond Meat. Alternative protein topic is also receiving increasing attention among celebrities who has a huge influence on the society today. And my question, what will you be eating in the next 10 years? Thank you.